Hello viewers. In this edition of Youth Inc., two lovely young ladies join me to speak about technology and social media. Yes, I know, it's a hot topic. Hot topic. But it is something that has really affected the lifestyle of our youth. Stay tuned as we come back to share our thoughts with you. Allow me to introduce my guests for this evening, Miss J.D. Keynes and Miss Janelle Brown. Miss J.D. Keynes has worked at Nevis Television, ZIZ, and currently works at the THG Network. Miss Janelle Brown is a manager at Experience St. Kitts and Nevis. Today we're here to discuss technology and our youth. We know over time technology has definitely become more advanced, and it has changed our way of communicating, and it has made changes in our lives. Today, we are here to discuss the impact of technology on our youth. Welcome to Youth Inc.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So our first question would be in relation to cell phones. At what age or the age limit do you think our youth should be before they own a cell phone?
I don't think that owning a cell phone has anything to do with age. It's all about responsibility and the need. Because, in anything there are pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages, so it's all about how you use them. A 16-year-old may have a cell phone and you consider that to be a pretty responsible age, but that 16-year-old uses it for negative reasons, whereas a 13-year-old may have a cell phone and someone may say a 13-year-old should not have a cell phone, and that person is using it for positive and all the right reasons. So I don't think it has anything to do with age, but rather it's dependent on the parent enforcing certain rules and guidelines for their children.
Okay, Janet, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts as it relates to cell phone, I think we would have to differentiate between a cell phone versus a smartphone, because when you think about today's society and children's safety and all of that, you'd probably like to have your child at all time with a cell phone so you can keep in contact with them. Mm-hmm. However, when it relates to a smartphone, then you probably have to look at the age of your child. Yeah, you might want to give your child a smartphone for argument's sake, but you may not want to put any service on it so that you can kind of monitor the type of activities that they may view and so forth. So I don't really think there's a minimum age per se for a cell phone as a parent. However, maybe the type of phone and what the child uses the phone for.
I know with regards to education, people feel as though that our children or youth shouldn't be given cell phones to take to school because most of the time they see it as a distraction. What are your thoughts on this?
I think if you have a cell phone, whether a smartphone or a regular cell phone, it's mobile for a reason. It's supposed to be taken anywhere. But again, it comes back to all about the discipline and the restrictions that you impose upon your child. Because I am an adult and I take my cell phone everywhere I go. However, if I'm in a meeting, I don't expect to be in a meeting and be on my cell phone, physically using my cell phone. And so the same thing should apply to a child. A child shouldn't be using that cell phone in school, whether, regardless. Yes.
Right, but what I'm saying too, if it is that the school doesn't allow cell phones, well, of course, I'm not going to encourage my child to bring a cell phone to school. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, whatever my lifestyle may require need for my child to have a cell phone. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, maybe I could work out something with the school where they probably drop off the phone in the morning and pick it up in the afternoon or something. But the way how persons' life are set up right now, what's life without a cell phone?
But in reality though, I think, I am somebody, because I work in the media, I have my cell phone pretty often. But what I think is an issue is the dependence, right? I don't believe that a child needs to be dependent on a cell phone. The cell phone for a child should be for a specific reason or for specific reasons. So for example, it is to contact your parents or even your friend. You contact somebody when you need to contact them. So that is one. And two, if you're using it for research purposes, then that's another reason. But the whole dependence, the whole need to always be using that cell phone or tablet or any kind of mobile device, I think is absolutely ridiculous. So if the school would say you cannot bring a cell phone to school, however, they would allow you to use the school's phone, then I have no problem. Then my child wouldn't be taking the cell phone to school.
Right.
But if that is not in place, then my child would be taking the cell phone.
Yeah.
But he or she would know that it's only for use at this time. And I know children would, want to show off with their friends, but the child should also know the mother. And so if I find out that is what you're using it for, we're going to have a problem. Yes.
Right.
Well, technology is certainly advancing, and in terms of education, and I'm speaking with regards to classrooms and stuff like that. Do you think our education system needs to put like more devices in place to be used in the classroom as opposed to trying to eliminate it from being in the classroom? Do you think like having them would probably help enhance our youth, the knowledge and stuff, because this is a way that they use to communicate now as opposed to different from back then?
For me, I think that technology, we need to take advantage of the opportunities that technology offers. Too many of us, the older heads, have a negative stigma when it comes to technology or anything that's comes with modern times. While I don't believe that everything should be solely based on technology alone, meaning you should only read from a tablet, for example, I have a problem with that. I believe you still need to pick up a book and read.
Yes.
So while I feel like you should introduce it more in school and use it more in school, I don't believe that it should be replacing the other. I think they can work hand in hand.
I think we have some issues with regarding cell phones in school. You would see like videos of fights. You would see, sex videos coming out on, smartphones and stuff like that. What are your thoughts and what advice would you share on that issue?
Well, I definitely want to jump in with this one because, for example, I don't think it's an issue that's just plaguing young people.
Yeah.
I don't, because I've seen some people's grandmothers on videos, okay, and it should not be, okay, nobody should be, but I'm just saying. So it's not just an issue for youth, but I mean, of course, naturally it's a youth show, and so we're paying special attention to the young people. It's all again about how you use the technology that is there. Because take for example, I mean, the washing machine is a form of technology that would have come, and you're not going to figure that, okay, because the washing machine is meant to wash things quicker, I'm going to jump in the washing machine and take a bath. We're not going to do that because, it was created for a specific purpose. I mean, it might sound like a far-fetched example, but the point I'm trying to make is that in anything, there are going to be pros and there are going to be cons. And we just have to hope and pray and pray and pray and pray that we would have instilled the right values in our children so that they don't become victims. Because, I mean, it's no secret that we've seen so many videos, some of fights, some of people performing sexual acts. It's just ridiculous. And I think while the persons who are the victims, or the persons who would have participated in it, have some blame, I think those of us who spread it have most of the blame. Yeah, I think because I am an adult and I would never share a fight. I would never share a fight on social media. I don't even, when the pictures come to, it could be my worst enemy. I am not sharing a picture of my worst enemy with anybody in a compromising position because I wouldn't want that for myself.
Right.
And I mean, while I've never been in that specific situation, I've had a case where my privacy was invaded, my social media, my Facebook would have been hacked, and somebody had a Facebook account created with my name, my pictures and stuff. Everybody was friends with that person except me because they befriended all of my friends except me. But I mean, that would have happened. Email was hacked. I've had that situation. I mean, so I know what it is like, but I think the people who engage in it and share it, they should get most of the blame.
What are your thoughts?
I'm agreeing, and in agreement is what most of what she's saying. Well, all of what she's saying. I find that persons nowadays they're caught up in this thing where they want whatever content that they share on Facebook to be viral.
Yeah.
So you would see you're on the road and you see an accident happen, and instead of you assist this person, everybody have their phone out and videoing. So it's like it's a weird change in culture and in morals. So I think maybe that's where we need to. I don't even know how we're gonna address that. Maybe I don't know. I really honestly don't know. But I find that everybody's so caught up in how many likes they could get, how many shares they could get, as opposed to really, addressing the situation behind. And even some of the videos, I saw a video the other day. This girl was doing this challenge, a corn cob challenge, and the thing twists up in her hair and peel out the hole at the front of her hair. Now she was in control of that video. She was doing the challenge, but she decided to share it. Why would you want to share it? So it's just proving that persons are more concerned about going viral, how many likes I could get, how many pages I could get, as opposed, because I wouldn't want to share. So that's an accident. Why would I want to share embarrassing myself on such a platform?
I think while they do it for their likes and for thinking that they're going to become famous by it, what they need to understand is that there are serious things behind it. The victims, they have to go through this in life, and it may be something that they never recover from. And those are the things that we need to think about. We need to think about others who are involved in it and not just ourselves. But we will continue our discussion. We will take a short break and we will be right back. Now we are on to social media. I think where we often see some juicy stuff, from drama to people posting, all their personal information, their location, as well as airing their dirty laundry. We are here to discuss that. Now, I know before you mentioned, with cell phones and smartphones, you don't really see much of an age. It's only for the smartphones you would probably, give them. I think we discuss a minimum age.
Yeah, no,
not
really. No.
Okay. How do you feel about, the minimum age for our youth to own a Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter, any of those?
Wow, that's a hard one. I can only speak for myself since I'm not that old. I had a high five. Remember high five?
Yes.
I had a high five account when I was about 13. I think it was around that time. And high five was mostly pictures and adding friends. And then I got Facebook shortly after Facebook came out. And I think it comes with age and maturity. There was probably a time where I put crazy things out there, but as you grow and as Facebook evolved, you realize that you could literally control what you see on your feed and your page. And so I guess just as on Facebook, you could control what you see, you could control what everybody else sees. And so since as a young person, I've basically grown up with technology and the changes, and I've integrated with it. I treat Facebook and Instagram as a part of my life. So just as how I'd walk out on the road and in front of an adult, I wouldn't curse a bad word or anything like that. On my Facebook page, I would show them the same courtesy because I have those persons on my page. So I will expect that younger persons would have the same sort of view, or I would instill those sort of values in my child. But I mean, the young people nowadays, they're so exposed, you can't really prevent them. I think the best thing to do is to guide them.
What I'm saying is, like, parents need to monitor them more closely than how they're doing.
I think it's more of instilling values. Because for me personally, my mother is not at all, she's dumped Facebook and those other things, right? And when I started to grow as an adult is when Facebook and them things come out, right? And if I didn't get involved in those other things because of the morals that my mother instilled in me and other family members, I don't see why, we can't instill those same values with our children. Yes, social media. I mean, people treat it as if it's like something way over there. It's social media, but it's right here with you, though.
Yes.
It's right here with your child. So stop treating it as if it's something that's way over there. You're right here, and okay, so social media is right here, and this is how you're gonna approach it. This is what I expect. This is what I don't expect. And I think when you start to have that relationship with your child, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything should come in stages. For example, like Janelle said earlier, if she would let her teenager have a smartphone, fine. That is a form of social media.
Right.
So it's like I introduce you to the smartphone, then at some point I'll introduce you to Facebook. You know, so everything comes in stages, because I mean, I know before we were talking about this whole thing of everybody knowing your location. That again is scary, you know.
It is scary.
It is very scary, where people feel the need to check in every time they go somewhere.
Right.
It's really scary.
And that is now something that you'd have to instill in your child, to tell them, no, somebody could capture you, somebody could do this, somebody could do that to you. It's really serious.
And the thing is, when you're young, I think, you know, when I was younger, I never thought of certain things.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you become older, you're like, oh, I should have never done that, I should have never done that. So that's what I'm saying, these children, they need guidance.
Yeah.
You know, they need someone older to monitor their pages to see what they put in. Because sometimes they just get caught up with everybody else. They get caught up with, you know, people just looking for the fame or doing things. And it's like, when you go on the pages, it's like, no, you shouldn't do this because you're putting your life at risk, you know?
Right.
Another thing too, for example, I sometimes I hear people talk about children or young people like they are the worst things ever. And I'm not. I am totally against that, okay? I feel like children will be children. And certain things they have to experience and learn from. But that doesn't mean that you should turn a blind eye. For example, let's say your child who is of Facebook age, for example, so that child is, let's say, 15, 16. So you allow them to have a Facebook page, for example.
Right.
But the pictures, the kinds of pictures that they're posting, that's another thing you have to look at. So it's not even just about age, because I have seen some pictures on Facebook and I hold my head, I'm like, oh my God. And granted, I mean, I was a respectful teenager, but I wasn't the most ponytail wearing teenager. I mean, I was a free spirit. I'm like, oh, whatever, that's me. And so sometimes when I see with young people, I'm like, okay, there'll be young people, but certain things, the pictures. I mean, I've seen young, females. The pictures they post is nothing about the outfit, but all about how your private part looks in your outfit. That I have a problem with. I have a serious problem with that. And I want to know if the parents don't see that. Your advertising is like, I'm here, come and get it.
What would you say to our youth who are constantly putting their personal life on Facebook?
Well, honestly, what I would say is there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
Understand me? So, I mean, the thing about it going on is that people think, the thing is, when people in relationship, they like to put up the post with their boyfriend and everything sweet and everything. But there are persons on Facebook who just lurk and they just look and and when something happens, they're like, but wait, and I see the picture no more, but wait, so what happened here, so everything gone and so forth. So I mean, it's basically that you're offering entertainment for other people, and if you're not an entertainer, I don't see why you shouldn't be putting all that information out there. Some things need to be kept behind closed doors. And so if you want to share a little one picture with your boyfriend or two pictures, I mean, it's up to you. But everything, it can't be everything. You have to be careful.
I think some of it could be controlled, because even from my end, sometimes I post certain things, I start typing things and I'm like, okay, Jay, just leave that alone. Leave that alone, you know? But then there are other things that like I get passionate about, and while I think about it first, I still mean to post it, and I know it's gonna, create a little bit of an upset, but I would have thought about it, That is me creating the upset, and I wanting the feedback, and I'm good with it. But that's because I am JD, my back is broad. Your back is broad, don't try this at home. However, but in reality though, I mean, there are certain things that I think people go overboard with. They go overboard with. Young people, not so young people. There are grown women on Facebook, I mean, cussing the baby daddies cussing the baby mothers. And exactly. There are mothers out there who, let's say for example, they sent a little sexy picture to the boyfriend, and somebody found the boyfriend's phone, he got whatever. and then people expose the mother, and I feel so bad for them because I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, come on, that person has a child. That person has a child. I mean, you're going to put another child to laugh at that child in school. So there are certain things that we put out there, whether by accident, meaning somebody else would have found your phone or gotten into your account and revealed it, or we do it ourselves that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing we need to do too. We need to open up and tell someone or tap them on the shoulder and say, listen, you know, you and I may not be friends or whatever, but I realize you're posting certain things, and I'm telling you, it's not going to work in your favor.
Exactly.
I think we live in a society where we kind of look on and we laugh. Or trust me, we instigate too. I've seen certain things on Facebook where people would add to it, and then it gets
yes.
overboard, and you know, stuff like that.
And I think people need to realize too that social media is so different from real life.
Yeah.
So some
I know.
persons might paint a really great picture on Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram, especially like, you know, people posting what the expensive clothes or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. But the real life is
It's different.
totally
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
So you know, you really can't hold what you see on Facebook or Instagram as gospel then.
Yeah.
Right?
I like
it's
that.
two different lives.
I'm so glad she said that, because I mean, I see people and sometimes you see them with a lot of things and you're like, well, how they could afford this? What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Why I can't afford this?
Yeah.
But you never know.
No,
You
exactly
never
what they
know.
do.
You never know. I mean, a friend
how
of
they get it.
Yeah, a friend of mine have a joke. A friend of mine and I have a joke where you see some girls, man, they got the hottest bag and the hottest clothes and they weave and point and their face beat to the gods, as the young people say. But when you realize when they take the pictures, you never see them taking a picture in their home. It's always on the street or on the club or whatever, and it makes you wonder what condition they have at home.
Right,
you know, what
right.
condition, because it's never, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking anybody's home, but I'm just saying your priorities might be mixed up. So I might be looking on Facebook and being envious of
Right,
what it
exactly.
seems like you have, but in
it's
reality,
It's
yeah.
so different.
So this is what we'll do. We'll take a short break and we will be right back. We have to discuss, you know, posting on Facebook as it relates to job opportunities, and you know, to highlight the positive things that, you know, we should actually look for from technology.
Sure.
Right.
And we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to You Think. We would have been speaking on the negatives of technology, and we are now going to highlight some positive aspect, you know, of technology. So JD, you can go.
Well, technology is meant to bring people together. Social media, is meant to bring people together through technology. And I think that we should not turn a blind eye, because there are so many negative things being done with technology and social media. Sometimes some people say, you know what, I don't want to be on Facebook, I don't want to be on Instagram, I don't want to use WhatsApp, I don't want to do any of this because it's just negative. But it's all about what you use it for. For example, I've been able to get in contact with a lot of friends from college or even primary school and secondary school who would have moved away. I've been able to forge new partnerships. For example, like I'm in a sorority that since college days, and I'm able to meet other sorors from around the world. And so technology has its advantages. And for example, there have been people who would have reached out to me for assistance with homework or anything through technology. They don't have your actual number, but through social media rather, they would have been able to reach out to you. And sometimes, even though we talk about people posting negative things that can affect them getting a job, sometimes the positive things about you can push you towards getting a job. So it has a lot of positives, and I want to think that the positives outweigh the negatives, but it's just for us to realize what those are and capitalize on them.
I agree.
Right.
Gentlemen?
Yes, when you're speaking about technology, I'm speaking specifically of Facebook and Instagram, social media in general. As I said earlier, you could control what you see. Now, I find that persons now are using Facebook and other similar mediums to do advertisement. So you find that this is a prime source for information.
Yeah.
So you really don't need the television anymore. You don't need to even go on the internet to search for information. The information is right there. So say for argument's sake, an accident happened up the road, then you're on your Facebook page, and so you're informed. So it's a constant flow of information. Same thing with job opportunities. You know, a lot of young persons are finding it hard to find jobs and support. Facebook, somebody could link you.
Yeah.
They know that you know you're
Face
good you're good in, for argument's sake, bouquet making or whatever, floral arrangement, and you're like, oh, you know, I know that, you know, my friend is good in bouquet making. Let me tag her, and that's how you might get a job. The other day I saw something on a group that I'm a part of. I think it's SKN sell something with SKN sell, right? And I saw somebody commented and said that she needed somebody to make this kind of cake, and right away I tagged my friend, and I don't know if she got a job, but you know,
The recommendation was
recommendation. So you know that's one positive way. Other positive ways, so persons basically could start their own business from social media. Some persons have literally Instagram stores. So you like shoes, you're posting only shoes, you start to sell the shoes. You don't have the overhead. You could pay for advertisements as little as $5, $10 US, and you advertise all of that. You start your own little business with your 1 and 2 stuff. So I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
I mean, when you talk about how you could, you know, independently, and what is really big too is motivation. You have people who earn by coaching people, and their platform is Facebook. So you have relationship problem, all of a sudden I just write Janelle Brown relationship coach, and I start to post things about relationship. I do it on my Facebook, I link it to my Instagram, I link it to my YouTube, and then I'm a relationship coach, and I get it. You understand?
It reminds
I'm
me of
getting
like
money.
Trent. I don't know if you've seen him on Facebook. Trent Shelton or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very
love him.
inspiring.
Yes, he's very
Okay.
inspiring. Yes.
When he makes money
Right,
from it,
and maybe if not for platforms like Facebook and so forth, they wouldn't have, you know, gotten this big, because people like to see, and people like to read, people are attracted by what they see, and so these sort of forums basically offer something that it's filling a gap then.
Yes.
And so that is why persons, you know, can earn from it and so forth. Even like small businesses, you know, you could work on the side and so forth. You can use it to enhance it, and so a whole heap of things can evolve from just being on these social media platforms. So at all, it's not negative at all.
I like that she said that, and I could listen to her all day, because it's basically like an endorsement for my job. Because I mean, we're everything about us is on demand, is on the internet, so on the World Wide Web rather.
Right.
And so it is important that for me that she said that. I didn't want to interrupt. I like that endorsement for THG.
Well, I don't need to endorse it, but I do something similar.
Yes, exactly.
Well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is how we earn.
Yes.
And a lot of persons in the world, that's how they earn.
I do agree.
So people shouldn't look at it as, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with this. You know, the possibilities are endless.
Correct. Global village.
Right.
I do agree. You can start small on Facebook and then become a millionaire just by Facebook alone.
Yes.
You have so many people on Facebook that you don't even know when your opportunity is right there. You know, I mean, even if you're probably if you have a particular scale, like artists, like, you know, drawings and stuff, and you post, you don't know how big you could go. To you may just doing a simple post on your page, and then somebody see you, and then it's like, you know, Facebook creates opportunities. Social media, having a cell phone, you don't know, that can work too. It's just for us to use these medium in the
right
proper
way.
way.
Yeah.
And once we do, we are ready to go.
And it's not even more so Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
Where the money lies is Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
I find a lot of persons in the Caribbean, possibly. I know that in Jamaica, a lot of persons are taking advantage of it. But I'm not seeing it so much here.
Here it's more Facebook.
I realize.
I love Facebook.
I love Facebook.
But you know, I'm glad that you said YouTube, because YouTube is helping me save a lot of money. I'll be honest, because there are certain things you would call up somebody to do. You go on YouTube and you tell I am gluing tracks on my own because of YouTube.
It's true.
You're learning a lot of
There
things.
is nothing you cannot
Nothing
learn
you
on
can
YouTube.
learn. And so you have free courses,
Yeah.
all of these things. You don't know how to even edit videos and so forth.
Everything is on YouTube, and these are things that we just need to look for the good stuff that would help us to, you know, prolong our life, and
young
not
people,
our life, but
young people can use these things to start their own business.
Yeah,
They
even
can.
braiding.
Yeah.
I was watching a few the other day to see if I can learn a skill.
Right.
You
but
never
but
know
it's
how
not
you
even
reach.
traditional things. I think
Yeah.
in the Caribbean we're so well. I wouldn't even say in the Caribbean, but I'm not even sure if it's Caribbean. But what I'm saying is we're so locked into this mentality that we every time you think about a business, you think about a shop, you think about clothes,
Yeah.
you think
A
about
office.
shoes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
exactly.
about
To think
office.
outside the box.
But YouTube, you could go and learn so many other
So
things
many
that may
things.
benefit
I
your
agree.
local
I agree.
your local community that you may have not even realized
Yeah.
that the opportunity existed.
There are a lot of things
So-
that, I mean, you just have to be creative. I saw something, if I may, I saw something the other day and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. There is an event that's coming up. I think it's music festival. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's music festival though, where they're saying for the VIP area, they have a check booth and you can check your check your flats. You go in with your heels, you check your flats, and when you're tired and your feet start to hurt you,
go
you
back
come
and
back and you
collect
get you collect your flats and you check your heels. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's genius.
That's so
Absolutely
cool.
genius.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
Because everyone
different.
stand around
I mean,
and
because
just-
you know, women go out there and your feet are
Yeah,
burning you,
yeah,
but you have
right.
to, yeah,
and then you have to hold your flats with you.
you
and-
have to hold your flats
Yeah.
with you, you know. So I'm just saying that's just an example of how people can be so creative.
It's true, 'cause
I mean,
if you think about it, you could capitalize on I charge $1 just
Yes.
only. And then the amount of
Exactly.
people, all you need is like, it's going to be hundreds
Exactly.
upon hundreds
Right.
of
and you
people.
don't,
It's
you didn't
like-
have to do anything to come up with that. It's just like
Yeah.
when you, let's say for example, when you're in a cold country and you come to an event and they code check. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Right.
So it's just about you being a little bit innovative and you know you use that to your advantage. And
Right,
that's
right.
how you-
And then the social media platforms have what's trending. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could be, a lot of times these things trending in the States, and as we're a little bit further down, everything take time, trickle
Yeah,
down, trickle
yeah.
down, trickle
Mhm.
down. So what if you bring this before it trickle down? Because I was reading this guy in Barbados. He takes all sneakers and he revives them. So he had somebody old sneakers and he was like, okay, let me see what I could. And he must have went to YouTube and ended up at some place in the US and whatever. And he would refresh the sneakers and whatever. So I'm sure he didn't come up with that.
That-
I never
yeah.
think about that.
Mhm.
And I'm sure maybe he see it on some social media
Yeah.
page and he's like, wait, let me
I'll
do
try.
that.
There's no shortage of ideas.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I want to thank my guests for coming and being a part of the show.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for having us.
Yes, I appreciate it
Yeah.
and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for viewing this edition of Youth Inc. I am Latoya Jones. Goodbye.